Nassim here with a Kung Fu Master God video, very first. I know I don't have that many subscribers or people who to watch, so I'm just gonna try to do my best to keep everyone going in that right path. Those who are watching, I hope you do learn something from this video. I will try my best to explain as much as I can and show off as much as I can. So the first thing that you want to get started with is not really a big deal, but this is something that you can implement into your combo while they're stunned. Like, we'll get down into how it's activated soon, but what you want to start by doing is going into tier 2 stage 2 or tier 3 stage 2. Reason why I keep mine at tier 2 stage 2 is because you don't really need that one focus off. Like, you could have one extra spec point just from keeping it where it's at. So as long as you go with the combo, you're fine. You don't need it. Your basic attack, it gives you enough chi as is. So I mean, you could do it if you want some extra chi gain while you're doing the combo, but you don't need it. Not it's just from my perspective. It's not. So the second thing is flying slam. This goes through Blade Master's block. It goes through Kung Fu Master's counter. Is a lot of things. Destroyer spin. That's one of the most important things that I've kept my spec into. I've never had to change it unless I was fighting something in PvE. But this is just, it's amazing. Next is grapple. This doesn't really work on everyone because most of them have those ones where it just pushes you off of them and the rest of it. But this gives you HP per hit while you're grappling them. I count it as really good because when you're fighting a destroyer and you happen to just grab them when they have like no recoveries, that's the perfect time because you get most of your HP back. I wouldn't really recommend it fighting it on a summoner because you'll just get knocked off, or a blade dancer because they just throw you off or just wait for you to do something. You can get those 3 hits in, but the other ones are not guaranteed at all. Second wind, it changes when you're fighting a summoner, or if you're fighting anything that needs to get knocked out of your sight, such as assassins maybe. But I doubt you want to knock those out of your sight. They're really annoying to fight. So the reason why I have mine spec'd over in this one is because I recently came from a match of fighting Kung Fu Masters and the rest of the classes that love stun locking you. But when you're fighting a summoner, what you want to do is you want to go into tier 3 stage 1, but take it down into tier 4 stage 1. Reason why I say that is because when their cat is grabbing you, that allows you to break out of it and it heals you for that slight amount, so you can get straight back into the fight. It's one of the most important things of fighting a summoner. As for counter, when you're fighting a Kung Fu Master, say them, this actually allows you, say you counter their hit off and then they use Q or E. They'll go behind you and that their triple kick will activate. So what happens is when they attempt to triple kick you, it doesn't work. Basically, you won't take the stun from it or anything. I count it as like a really useful thing when fighting a Kung Fu Master because it allows you not to get countered by anything when you counter them first. Do I recommend it? Yes, because heavily Kung Fu Masters love to use their Q and E. I don't know why. It's random. It happens. They just use both Q and E and then they're left with no recoveries. It's not the smart thing to do at all. You want to reserve that. So when they go to do that, I would not say counter because that's just they can still go through your counter with triple kick. So be careful when you use it. Just make sure that you automatically get those counters in when you see the right timing to do it, but don't spam it because that's going to result in triple kicking and it'll kill you. It leaves you wide open. Next is leg sweep, but take that down into shin kick. Though that is the most important thing of your combos is shin kick. That's what you're going to need to do your resets and the other stuff that you want to do in the combo. The reason why I say that is when you shin kick, it activates your F, which is your cyclone kick. And since you spec into that cyclone kick, you basically can use it every single time you use a shin kick because it has no cooldown anymore. So that's a really good one. And it does a lot of damage if you do it all correctly, which I'll be showing you in my next videos and so on. Comet Strike. Another useful skill. This enables you to punish the enemy while they're rolling back. I will be showing demonstrations of all of these skills in the future duration of the video, basically. So if they go back at any time, say you knock them on the ground and they press F, that's the time you're able to use Comet Strike. It's not really an advanced thing, it's more in the basics, but I'm pretty sure you can automatically just get the hang of that. Rising Dragon, I would take that into tier 4 stage 2. You don't want it to knock back. Is pretty much no point unless you're fighting something that just needs to be knocked back, which is a slight chance. But the main thing you want for comboing is the Rising Dragon to actually stun them. Because if you can chain lock those stuns and add well, I'll get to the other stuff later, but when you stun them, you get healed for 10% of your HP. It goes through parry and it purges deep wound. So that's pretty much one of the most useful things about Rising Dragon, because you can see from tier 3 stage 2 and tier 4 stage 2, the big difference is the stun duration. So 1 second, that's not really all that great, because by the time you're done like in the air spinning, you pretty much have no idea of what you can do after that, because you just do one shin kick and then maybe one left click and it's over. Like they're out of the stun. It's a waste. So I would say take it down into tier 4 stage 2 because it's better. You get that longer stun and that's what you're really after. So the next is Searing Palm. One of the most useful skills of Kung Fu Master in my opinion. But the reason why I say this, you take it down into tier 3 stage 2, because while you're doing the shin kick combo, you basically stun them for a longer duration. So what happens is, say, well, I'll be getting into the 3RF stuff later, but when you implement this skill into the combos, they get stunned longer and it increases a lot of your damage. Like you'll just be seeing their HP fly. And that's what you're really after. You wait for them to you basically punish their tab to get out of your like first stun, and that's where Tremor comes in and all of that extra stuff. So the next skill you want to go into is Flurry. That's a either you can. There's two ways to use it. It's depending on who you fight. I wouldn't really recommend using it on a Kung Fu Master because you're just setting yourself up for something that you don't want to be in. Like if the Kung Fu Master's smart, he will counter at the beginning of the match, and when you go to do that, you'll just get hit off. So it's not necessarily something I would throw into, but you're free to try it. Is when you're running into the arena and you attempt to do that, sometimes you'll get it off, sometimes you won't. But what I would do, I would save it, because it doesn't exactly matter who gets the first hit in the arena. Because either way, depending on who used their skills wisely or not, is who's going to come out on top. So what you want to do for this skill is you take it down into tier 4 stage 3 to where it dazes, and when it dazes, that basically means it's going to keep them there. They fall on their knees. It enables them to use their F, so be aware of that. What you want to do is when you hit them with that, Comet Strike them when you see that their vulnerability is off from their F. The reason why I say that is because it enables you to do another combo. But when you use your Rising Dragon, beware that they're going to tab again, or because yeah, like most people probably will use tab thinking that they can't F. So the game is pretty much based off of who uses their tab first, and use it if you have to, but I wouldn't really recommend using it in the beginning of the game because you're just setting yourself up to get killed. It's over as soon as you do it. So flurry is one of the most important skills. I'd say go for it. Tremor, you don't really have to do anything big for it, but put one skill point into it because as you can see, when you don't put one skill into it, the stun is 2 seconds rather than 3. So it's not really much of a big deal for you to like just spend one skill point into it, especially something as useful as that. As for your shadow dance, you don't have to always do this, but it makes you invulnerable when you use it, rather it's Q or E. So I would say go for that because you get increased movement speed and you basically resist damage and status for that entire second. Basically, what happens is when you do it and you get hit with from that resist, it enables your triple kick to be used, and that's what you're really after when you're fighting anybody is the triple kick stun. I'm not saying you have to be reliant on it or anything, but that's a really good one. Triple kick is something that's going to make the entire game flow just go your way. For your uh, S, I'd say put one into it because you get increased movement speed, and that's another good thing because when you're fighting a blade dancer or destroyer, they tend to often spin, and you need something to get away from them. So you do that, and you're pretty much across the map somewhere. But they can still charge at you. Don't get me wrong, but that's what you have counter for. When you see them charging, you counter them off, and you hit them with shoulder bash. That's what it's called. No, it's iron shoulder. Okay, but that's another good thing. You don't have to really spec into it though. But that's pretty much what I have to show for now. If I learn anything else, make I will basically implement it into my video. I do often stream, but I'm going to do a pretty much a demonstration on everything that I just showed in the next video. So leave a like, subscribe, and I hope you all have a good day. Thank you for watching.